What the hell is even that? Get everybody!
Looks like we're talking about Lub Glubs, another monster added to the Ooo Bestiary. The only thing is, unlike the last monster that we talked about, we actually stand a chance this time. Now, Lub Glubs, dubbed after the sound they make when they either leave their vessel or the sound made when they drag creatures underwater to devour them, are a unique kind of mutant that can be found within dark caves, as well as just places with no light in general. Now, be aware, technically the only confirmed location for them is the underground cities, though it's quite possible that they can be found in other locations. So let's start with their typical features and behavior. One noticeable feature that stands out is their skin. They seem to be a mixture of a dark green and black kind of color, with a small green glow. They also seem to be constantly secreting a strange liquid as well. Their size, shape, and characteristics vary wildly, though there are a few things that unify them. Firstly, all of them possess additional limbs, always boasting some number of arms at the very least. Some also seem to have what looks like remnants of what used to be eyes, as well as other appendages. They also share a large visible maw with humanoid teeth. As for behaviors, they seem to be relatively intelligent, though still lacking in comparison to humans. They also have a huge disdain for light sources, going out of their way to attack creatures near them and destroying the source if possible. This is for reasons I will be going over soon enough. Lub Glubs also work in packs. If you see one, there are actually 5. If you see 5, there's actually 25. And if you see 25, then you are screwed. Additionally, they are carnivores and prefer to ambush their prey in the water if possible. They seem to be blind and find their targets via sound, though this is more of an assumption as more data is needed. It's also possible that they see via movement, as Susan Strong urged Finn and Jake to not move when one was passing them by. Lub Glubs also constantly travel within a vessel of some sort. This can be assumed to be a habit formed to overcome their weakness to light. You see, the main reason they hate and avoid large amounts of light is because it burns them. If light reaches a point where it removes all shadows around an area, any Lub Glub in said area will quickly die after their body dematerializes. While inside their vessel, however, their bodies are shielded in the case they accidentally drift to a light source. It's also possible that they choose non-threatening vessels to work as a way of surprising their prey. They only leave the vessel when they are both covered in darkness as well as found potential food. They also will come out if they are agitated. On the off chance that the Lub Glubs reach a certain number, it's possible that many of them will begin to fuse together, as we see a massive one that seems to be the collection of hundreds fused together into one massive amalgamation of flesh. Though I admit this could just be an exception that was brought on by a unique event. As for combating them, this is somewhat simple. Despite their weakness to light, this is not what I would recommend. Lower forms of light won't do a thing except agitate them. The only form of light that will actually help you is a light intense enough to fully engulf an area. So unless you are a fire elemental, have the strongest flamethrower ever, or somehow got the best flashlight in the world, you won't be able to take advantage of this weakness pretty much at all. That being said, there are a lot of ways to deal with them. Firstly, and this is going to be a constant when talking about monsters in the bestiary, is just avoiding them entirely. Stay away from incredibly dark, abandoned underground cities, caves, or settlements. As long as you stay in areas that remain lit on a regular basis, you won't have to deal with them. Unfortunately, many adventurers go anyway because they think they can find some loot in these areas, thinking I haven't already grabbed everything there. On the chance you made the poor decision to go, I recommend bringing a decent number of allies. Never go alone. Regardless of what monster you think you are dealing with, going in alone is a good way to unsubscribe to life. If you see floating hollow materials such as balloons or other possible hollow items, avoid them unless given reason to suspect them to be normal. Avoid making too much sound if you suspect there to be Lub Glub activity. Remain vigilant and watch the area around you. They do not clean up their messes. You might notice a large number of bones and torn clothing. If you do, at the very least you know something is down there with you. Lastly, if all else fails and you are forced to fight, Lub Glubs are not too durable and can be killed with conventional means. Do be aware, however, they can still shrug off some damage and are ferocious in close combat. Anyway, that's all I got for this entry into the Ooo Bestiary. There are a lot of monsters to be added to the bestiary, and as time goes on, we'll eventually cover them all. Thanks as always to my patrons on Patreon, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.